In the middle of Bangkok, there is a restaurant where the story doesn't begin in the kitchen. It begins in the soil. Herbs grow on site. Ingredients are harvested just steps away from the dining room. What you eat here is shaped as much by land and seasoned as it's by technique. The food draws inspirations from Indian traditions, but reimagines them through a modern lens. Rooted, experimental, and playfully expressive. This isn't just about innovation or sustainability as a concept, but how those ideas translate onto the plate. In this video, I explore a neo-Indian dining experience in Bangkok, where growing the food is as important as cooking it. Today I am eating at a Michelin 1+1 star Indian restaurant. What do I mean by that? Well, this restaurant has Michelin 1 star, but it also has a Michelin green star that symbolizes sustainability. I think that's like one of the new standards that Michelin pushed out in the recent years. The restaurant in question is called Haoma. The name comes from Zoroastrian or Avestan, the language. It means tree of life. I haven't tried any of the green star before, and this is the first green star restaurant I try. Also, this is the only restaurant with a Michelin green star in Bangkok. And we're having a tasting menu of different expressions, as they call it. This restaurant actually has two sets of menu. It has a vegetarian menu and a meat and fish menu. I choose the meat and fish menu. So first I have a welcome bite of two things. This is like a small cracker tart type of thing. There's coca for sure. Coca, peanuts, a little bit Indian masala, but pretty mild. It's good. Also, we have this fish cracker shaped like thing. It's some kind of fruit flesh, a bit acidic, a bit refreshing. All right, so for example, this is the first course, right? As you can see, there is a postcard, but if I flip it, you can see the name of the dish, the components, and even here the area code where the ingredients coming from. First course called Prarambha. In Sanskrit, it means at the beginning of the journey. And we have 4 small items, and this is their version of pani puri, this is their version of vada pav and dahi kebab, and there is also a raw mango pana. This restaurant is about neo-Indian cuisine, where it follows traditional recipe before the colonization, but they're presenting it in a different way. There is no fusion, almost no fusion I'll say, but they just present it in a modern way. Let's begin with this pani puri here. Obviously not the traditional pani puri you have because it looks very different, right? It's almost like a small chip. Pomegranate cracker and pomegranate dust, jelly. Almost like a smoky, meaty chili type of feel. This is like a different interpretation on pani puri. I mean, typically what you have is basically like a parcel called bani, and puri is water. So you have water in the parcel, typically like a tamarind chutney, mint water type of thing. So when you eat it, it's kind of like explode, very refreshing. This one is on a cracker that has a bit like acidity from the pomegranate, but there's also a bit like the smoky flavor from the chili powder. It's a different version of pani puri. Next one, vada pav. Traditionally, this is car plus car. So basically you have like a bread type of thing with a potato ball in the center. This one is brioche and sweet potato inside. It's a toasted brioche with a little buttery aroma, and inside you have just a bit of sweet potato paste. I expect there to be a bit more of the sweet potato content, but this is more of just brioche with a hint of sweet potato paste inside. So it's good hearty carb. Dahi kebab. Kebab is grilled meat, but in this version it is vegetarian. We have yogurt here. Oh my god, this is really good. Is this some kind of like a potato hash brown? But inside it's like so creamy and cheesy. I don't know if it's like stuffed with it or maybe like a mixture altogether. But this is like really good. Nice texture, buttery dairy aroma. Lastly, a bit of raw mango juice. Oh, I like the container. Look at this vessel. So there is this recess here. You can fit this cup perfectly. Refreshing, but not super sour. And you have a bit of like this masala-y chili powder, sort of like a smoky, meaty flavor in there. Moving on, our second course, we have Samudra. In Sanskrit means ocean, and we have two items here. This is a piece of squid, a curry from Goa, usually made with chicken, but this one is made with squid. And here we have a moili, which is also a type of curry from Kerala. This is made with like coconuts and some other spices. Actually, I had this once before in a Michelin one-star South Indian Tamil restaurant in New York called Sema. I had a dish with lobster and moly, so I had some concept of what that is. There's also caviar and unis. Wow. So first, this is a squid cup, but inside the cup is filled with this curry gravy thing. Oh, it is really unique. It is actually a bit spicy, especially after a bit, like it really lingers in your palate. A bit smoky, a bit umami, and a bit oceany, briny, like the squid ink flavor. Moily with caviar and uni. It's sort of a mild curry, but at the same time very flavorful. It's a bit savory, a bit coconutty, and you have this mint that gives it a herbal tone. Maybe some, I don't know if that's macadamia nuts or hazelnuts. It provides like a little bit crunch, a bit like umami from the, almost like a soy sauce type of flavor at the end, like a little bit sauce. And then you have the umami from the uni and the caviar. And also, again, this is actually kind of spicy as well. It's mild in the sense that it's not like garam masala or some other type of masala that's like really spicy potent. This is mild, but still has a heat. Seems that they kind of add like spice and chili to everything. So even though this is like a coconut-based curry, if you will, with the addition of uni and caviar that gives it the briny umami flavor, you still receive the spice and the heat. And the postcard here, this is Varanasi. This is the holy city of 7 religions. And it says that this place is a special chaat that's all made by tomatoes. So we have 2 items here. This is pickle and with a granita mixed in together. So this is chaat, and this is macaron crisp. Let's try this one first. This crispy cracker tastes exactly like a Chinese snack, 旺仔小馒头. I don't know if there's like translation for it, but it's like this small tiny buns that's a bit crispy and a bit like starchy sweet. And now we have chaat, granita, and pickle. This is yet another version of chaat. It still has the chaat essence, right? All this like masala flavor, a bit spicy, a bit sour, a bit refreshing, a bit sweet and all. And this one has more of a fruity flavor because there's a lot of pickles. This one has a bit more like the tangy tamarind paste. Not too much of a heat. There's some cashew in it, some nutty crunch. But overall, this is not a very strong one. Moving on, we have 2 items, lobster 2 ways. So first here we have a ghee roast. This one made with lobster, and at the bottom this is idli rice cake. And this one here is also on lobster meat with some kind of like curry gravy sauce and some rose water. A bit smoky flavor here. The lobster is amazing. It's really fresh and tender and sweet. And the idli rice cake has a bit like sweetness from the fermentation. Although I'm not too sure about putting ghee roast on a rice cake, because when you chew, the texture is different. Lobster is like really tender and bouncy, and rice cake is a bit like pasty and mushy. So when you're chewing at these 2 components, it doesn't seem to blend in particularly well. The textures are nice separately, but when combining, it feels a little strange. Then the lobster. There are 2 pieces. Oh, again, the lobster is so tender, so sweet. And this one, the curry here is a bit savory and sweet and meaty, a bit fruity. There is a bit of heat to it, interesting flavor. I think the meatiness definitely comes from the chili powder because that's one of the characteristics. The lobster is really nice, really fresh and tender and sweet. Next course, we have chicken and the egg. We have two items here. This is chicken kakori, traditionally made with lamb, but this is chicken. Kakori is a city in Lucknow, North India. And here we have a keema paratha. This one mixed with a cured egg yolk. Chicken kakori kebab with chicken mince inside, some mint chutney, and potato skin on top. Oh, the chicken mince is so creamy. It's almost not like meat anymore. It's almost like a potato mash. Soft and creamy, nicely seasoned in spice. You have this meaty, spicy flavor. Again, some masala, chili powder, you have the smoky heat. A bit of mint, maybe like 10% of that flavor. It's mostly that meaty, savory, almost smoky flavor from the mince. Next up, let's mix this keema paratha with cured egg yolk. There is like this almost floss-like thing at the top. Umami and savory. And you have the egg yolk mixing it all together. A little creamy. Not very strong of eggy custard flavor though. Probably because it's being masked by all those spices and things. There's some meat in there. And also maybe some like chopped up fruit pieces in there. A bit meaty, a bit savory, a bit heat, a bit smoky, gingery, and again, a bit spicy. All these dishes has some kind of heat to it, and they're gonna build up. They're gonna linger on your palate, and as you eat different courses, they will build up even more. Next course, Bangkok to Biscay. We have some Portuguese influences here, and this course is all about bao chow. This is of Portuguese influences. Bao chow sounds like Portuguese, right? It kind of is. And this bao chow originated in Macau, China, when it was still a Portuguese colony back then. Then the Portuguese took it from there and take it to Goa, and that's why it's part of the Indian cuisine today. So here we have shrimp here with some caviar on top and some mint oil. That little droplet is bao chow, and the consomme is also clarified bao chow. And here we have banana shrimp head with bao chow curry in it. And this is a bao chow bao made with potato, and this is a bao chow jelly. So like this is all about bao chow. Let's try that. I never had this before. So the shrimp first. Nothing too special about it. It's bao chow droplet thing. A bit sweet, sour, savory, meaty, and a bit smoky. I think there's a lot of smoky elements throughout this meal. A little bit of this broth consomme. There's a bit the bao chow infused, but not too strong. You have a bit more like acidity and herbal notes from the mint. Bao is also of Portuguese influence. In fact, in Portuguese, bread is called bao, right? Again, a bit bao chow stuffing inside. A bit savory and meaty. The bao is soft and fluffy. Let me try a bit of the bao chow jelly to test the flavor. So this is in its strongest form. It's definitely a bit tangy and fruity. Tangy, fruity, meaty, savory, a bit smoky, a bit peppery and spicy. Now it's time to suck the head. Shrimp head, I mean. I don't suck heads, but when it comes to shrimp head, I suck it. That is really umami because of the shrimp head, the tumbling there. Again, you have a bit of the bao chow flavor mixed with the shrimp head, but it's more umami. By the way, this plate is from the company called Benaras. It's a French royal porcelain company, and this pattern, this collection is called Écu Mordoré. I know this because I had this at home. Not exactly the same plate, but similar style in the same collection. I really like the surface. It has like many different air bubble recess on it. Next up, we have Go Madras. So this is Madras curry, mostly made with turmeric and chili. And there is some crab locally sourced, crab-shaped cracker made with chickpeas. And there's pony rice, a rice used in South India. Now let's try this curry. First, a bit of the sauce with some pony rice. This one is a little similar to the mole curry, but spicier and not as sweet. Also a bit more turmeric. It's more about the curry here. This one compared to mole, both are good. It's just in different ways. But this one is a lot more spicier. And also some mustard seeds.
Mustard seeds can also be a bit spicy and peppery, so it adds up. I guess this is my bowl of rice. This is quite spicy, alright. Next course we have Aamras Chaat caviar. Aamras is mango, Chaat is buttermilk, so this is mango buttermilk caviar. This is one of the prettiest écu morteret collection I've ever seen. Just absolutely beautiful. This plate is very stylized. I love it. And again, hot food, hot plate, cold food, cold plate. Perfect. And this cracker is inspired by architecture in Jaipur as shown in that postcard. And this is so beautiful, I don't even know where should I start to eat this. This quinoa is quite firm. Some caviar and the mango sauce. Wow, the caviar is very umami and briny. Mango is sweet, buttermilk a little tangy, and we have this cracker, beautiful cracker here. It's really mostly for presentation. Smooth, creamy, slightly sweet mango puree. Mango is usually super sweet, but this one is okay-ish sweet. That buttermilk quinoa is really nice. It's really firm, almost like an ice cream. A bit tanginess from it, and the caviar just delivers tons of umami and briny flavor. Next course we have Allahabadi Dawat. This is a set of Mughal dish. Dawat is fish, and this dish is inspired by a restaurant in chef's hometown presented in the postcard. And we have 4 small items here. This is called Musaram curry. This is a Mughal curry made with cashew and tomato. This is harim. This is nihari, and this is one of the Mughal bread made with milk. I actually had halim and nihari before, and it's very popular in Pakistan, and some people consider it Pakistani food, but also people claim it's Indian food. Well, because when the food first appeared or was invented, there was no Pakistan as a country. And secondly, this dish was invented in the old Delhi during the Mughal time. So by both standards, this could be considered an Indian dish and should be considered an Indian dish. So I guess this is both Indian and Pakistan. I don't want to get into the fight, but that's the context. Okay, so now I'm gonna try this musaram curry with fish on it and a piece of gold foil on top. You really have the fish flavor from it. The curry itself is quite mild, made with cashew and tomato, so you have a bit of a creamy feel, a bit of sweetness from it, and also there's a little bit of masala. And then let's try this harim. Well, usually harim is a stew, but in this interpretation, it is made with this thing, sauce type of thing on bread, colored with saffron and some fried onion on top. Which is really good and hearty, a bit savory, a bit sweet, and caramelized onion. But since this is not a stew form, so you don't have a super strong flavor from the honey. Yes, it is seasoned in flavor, it's just not as strong as a stew form. Also a bit of sweetness from the bread, so that's why it's called sweet bread. But in this context, it means a bread that's sweet. Like usually in English term, when you mention sweet bread, it's not referring to a bread that's sweet, it's referring to this organ, the thymus of the cow, which you could eat in classic French cuisine. But this is the bread that is sweet. Now moving on, we have nihari and Mughal bread. Oh my god, that is amazing. Well, because nihari has meat in there, so like the fat from the animal also gives it like more depth of flavor. It's either lamb or beef, but the fat is just like really rich, has a nice aroma. Nihari itself is cooked with a lot of like Indian spices, and it's a bit like meaty and savory and smoky. Let's try this Mughal bread made with milk. Nice dairy aroma, soft and fluffy. Let's try a bit of the bread with nihari. Rich and fatty, really hearty, meaty and savory. Really good, what can I say? Hearty and good. Moving on, we have a pre-dessert passion fruit lassi. So we have some creamy yogurt, dehydrated yogurt, and some passion fruit. This is a passion fruit yolk. Okay. Okay, cool. You see that? That is like passion fruit, this little seed. At first I was like, passion fruit should be like small seeds, right? Well, there are small seeds like this. Thoroughly mixing. Okay. It's really tangy, alright. and you have that fruity pop from the seed. You hear the crunch, right? So these are actually the passion fruit seeds. It has that crunchy texture, so it has like a little bit like almost flesh-like thing that's wrapping around the seed, which is like crunchy. And you have the creamy yogurt that smooth it out a little bit. Dehydrated yogurt circle thing. Almost like mozzarella cheese. Lastly, last dessert, melody. We have this chocolate composition, cashew nougat at the bottom, toffee, some more chocolate, sea salt, then a chocolate cover. Ooh. Chocolatey and sweet. Really nice crunchy texture. There's a piece of fruit there. A bit toffee, caramel flavor. The textures and different flavor profiles and even temperatures can be improved furthermore, but for a dessert here, I think that's fine. Lastly, to end this meal, we have our petit four, 4 different types of chocolate, mango. Oh, there's liquor inside, explosion in your mouth. Again, the explosion, the juice. Chocolate, a little rose water. Inside there's like coconut shaving, brown sugar type of thing. White chocolate with a hint of sweet fruit jam. So that pretty much wraps up the meal. I really enjoyed the experience of going through this meal. Wow, different face of different postcards and different expressions. The foods are nice, very creative, nicely prepared, beautiful vessels. Of course, there are rooms for improvements, but overall, I think it's a pretty solid meal and a very nice experience. So that is it for you guys. Michelin 1-star plus Michelin Green Star Neo-Indian food at Haoma in Bangkok. Remember, like and share and subscribe. I'll see you at next one. Ciao.